Right, hello everybody. We are back for part 7 of our 5x4 metre garden ring build in Princess Risborough. So yesterday we had the plasterers in, which was great. They got the plaster job completed. It looks really nice. And while they were here, I did a couple of bits around. I was flying around between other jobs, but I did get some soffit light cable laid. So for our spotlights on the front of the building, I got that in. I didn't do a video of it, but I'm just going to show you guys because it's another bit of the first fix cable that we're doing. So yeah, just drilled all the holes through the joist, pretty straightforward, as the same as we did with the internal lights. I ran the cable along down to the end here and then ran it back through and then just down the wall, which again will punch into the socket. And in fact, we're not even going into the socket on this one because we're doing some wireless switches, which we'll show you about. Quite cool. You can put them in the house so you can control the soffit lights when you come outside. If it's dark, you can turn the lights on and you won't be trying to scramble around in the dark until you get inside to the lights to turn them on. And all that goes inside the wall on the inside, but we'll show you how we do all that. So yeah, the building's wrapped on the outside. I didn't actually show you guys that. However, we had the DPM underneath, didn't we, on the concrete? We lifted that up, we cut it to about here, about 100 mil above the OSB, and then we just stapled it the whole way around, and then we wrapped the bottom half of the room first around everything there, and that is right up to the DPM there. And then we wrapped over it on the top layer, which just overlaps so any moisture will fall down the building. This is a breathable membrane. It does let moisture out. You know, you can literally cup it in your hand like that, pour water in it, it will not go through, but it does breathe, so it lets water out the other way. So that's that. So as we come inside the room, I'll show you what we're doing today. We've got fully plastered room, all our lines cut in, everything's prepped, ready to go. And today, for part 7, we're going to be doing the floor. And in this particular build, we're doing a floating floor. So we'll be laying down our second course of moisture protection, which is the DPM we've got here. We'll be laying that out over the concrete slab, and then we will be fitting our 90mm PIR board insulation on top of it. We use PIR on the floor, not Celotex, because obviously it's got some structural values to it, so you can just put your OSB, we're going to put 18mm OSB tongue and groove on top of it, moisture resistant boarding, so you can put that on top and just leave it, that's it, that's all we do. So we get our Celotex nice and snug, all fit tight in, and then we just put our OSB on top and lay it on top. Because it's all level, it's a floating floor, we don't need to fix anything down, and that's how we do our subfloor. So let's get to it. Okay, so we've got our first board down. Let's just show you guys that. We've laid our DPM down. It's a bit bigger, but we'll cut it once we've got this down, because then it sort of overlaps the Celotex. Gives a nice finish. We've popped that into the there, and then this one isn't, this part here isn't a full size cut, so full sheet, sorry. So we're going to trim that down. James is going to show you how we do that. So how we mark it, we got a tape.
So the length of the Celotex that we're going to cut in is 2260. So what we do, I've already marked it, and as you can see, I've already scored the board here. So 2260 comes to here. I simply put my tape here, and it comes to 14. Obviously that's off of a full sheet. Is it? They're 2.4, aren't they?
Yeah.
Sometimes the 8 foot comes in. If it's MDF or ply, it will be 2440, but here is 2.4. So 140 is our off cut. We simply pinch the tape here and score the tape down.
It's just an easy way of doing it. Instead of chucking a level on it and marking it, you just pop your tape. Obviously this stuff is never going to be, you're never going to cut it, you know, with a jigsaw like bang on. When we're doing rafters and things like that, joists, we do cut it with a saw because you do get it dead straight, but with this the jigsaw works pretty well. So
as we've scored it, the jigsaw will follow this score line nice and easy. And as James has mentioned before, we use a nice wavy blade, and it cuts the Celotex nicely without any dust, which is brilliant.
Yes.
So here we go.
So as you can see there, real small amount of dust has come off that, literally next to nothing. That's why we like that blade so much. It's a real Real game changer that way. I do like it. It's a good one. So yeah, so we're going to fit that in. James is going to grab that. We have seen Festool's Celotex cutting tool, and we are keen on it. We do fancy it. We've seen a couple of guys use that, and yeah, it looks beautiful. It's really nice. You like hoover off the Celotex after you cut it. Yeah, it's proper OCD. It's like right up my street. So we fixed that. Fixed it. We've just placed it. We haven't fixed anything. So that's there. But we'll keep it away from the doors in this instant because we're going to piece in this strip here, just so we get full sheets across the room. We're going to piece that in to finish the installation on that, and we'll do that throughout the room, and then we'll get on to the tongue and groove 18mm OSB.
So just as well, we like to stagger all of our joints. So as we are pretty much 2 full sheets with just a little offcut, we're now going to lay a full sheet centre of the joint and then piece in either side, and that just keeps everything staggered.
Yep, lovely, good stuff. Yeah. Okay, so we've got our 90mm insulation down. On this particular job we're using Celotex, but sometimes we use other brands, still the same really, PIR board. Sometimes we actually use 100mm. It depends what they've got in stock. 100mm is a little bit better, but it does put the threshold super close on the door, and when we're trying to keep that threshold as smooth as we can, 90mm is actually better. Probably just pat the door up a bit more when we use 100, but it just makes a bit more of a step. So with this job we're doing 90, and it's sufficient, and this makes so much difference to the insulation of the room. Like, I can't tell you how much difference it makes. The ceiling insulation, the roof insulation, and the floor insulation are the most important parts of insulating one of these rooms. When the concrete's exposed, and like we had the heaters on last night with the plaster because it got quite cold, we didn't want it to freeze. We came this morning and it wasn't even that warm, like so much heat goes out of the floor. So yeah, make sure you put at least 90mm in the floor. That really will help with your energy use. Yes. So all our Celotex is done, it's all fixed in, nice and tight. And now we're going to be putting down our 80mm tongue and groove, moisture resistant
Chipboard.
Chipboard, yeah. I was actually calling it OSB earlier, I think, on the video, but we used OSB on the roof. So yeah,
OSB
we'll be using
yeah.
the chipboard on this particular floor. And how we do it is like the roof, we've got our glue here, we've warmed it up because it's not that great actually when it's cold, it's a bit hard to get out. So you come along, we just do this, we nail the board down with the writing, the label side up, that's just how it is. And the tongue here, and what we do, I will actually trim this back, but just so I can show them this video, we're just
using how nicely, look at that.
Look at that. Oh, lovely. We'll just run a load of glue along the tongue there, and then we'll go around the side.
So as well, just to be careful when you're buying the glue, you can either get 30-minute expanded glue or 5 minute.
5 minutes good, but you've got to be on it. And if you make any mistakes, you shouldn't really, but
yeah, give yourself a bit of leeway.
I've never really seen the purpose of 5 minute glue. There's never been some crazy rush to get this dry.
I think just within joinery, when you've got something on a bench and you just want it to go off quick, that's why they do it. But with stuff like this, tongue roof floor, 30 minutes is perfect.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so yeah, we're going to lay those down. We're just going to go through, run it all down the room, do little cutouts for the windows and the doors, and then yeah, it'll be good to start outside. So we've got the heater on the glue, it's warming it up, it's just making it a bit thinner because it's not coming out too fast, it keeps going cold. So what we're doing now is we're piecing this bit in. So as you can see what we've done, full board here and then full board there with a cut. Then what we've done is we've got a full board and we've just chopped it bang in half, and we start with the left hand side of that board there, then we've chopped a full board, and then we've used that off cut of that first full board that we cut in half just to piece this bit in because it was only about, what was it, like 30mm rip off the end. So instead of starting with a little bit and losing, we do it this way, it keeps them nice and staggered joints away from each other. As we're gluing it all, it's going to be a solid deck. Just remember that when you're gluing these, it turns each of these individual pieces into one big piece. So it's going to be a big slab on the floor here. Right, so now we're measuring this one here. We are going to put the table against the wall, We're going to go 225, that's to this line of the board here, the end of the board. We'll probably chop it off, what, 5 mil?
5 mil short, just to give us
so 2245, so we're 5 mil short there. And then the end piece there will measure to the window, which is 230. So remember that measurement, so we'll go 2.
It's 2245 for that one.
2245.
And then here is, I measured this earlier, that's about 435, and we'll go 5 mil past the bead.
Yeah, 5 mil past the bead there. And
the reason why we do that is if it's all tight and people stand on there, you'll get a creaking noise, and as well, it's good to have a bit of expansion.
A bit of expansion gap. Okay, it shouldn't expand basically because it's atmospheric moisture, but it will get drier in here. We'll have heating on stuff like that, so it can shrink and expand in those times. So just leave a bit of 5 mil tolerance on each end of the boards in here. Outside, you don't do that because it's always the same as you're outdoors. So yeah, so we're putting that there. That's what's going to fit, and that's just going to piece into there, and then we'll go along. Oh, James, do the honours. Get this board in. Show everyone how nice this is when it just slides in. Oh, beautiful, lovely, beautiful. That's how they fit together, just like that. Got a bit of a discrepancy on these tongues on the edge of the board. That's not very nice, is it? But yeah, lovely. Okay, we finished the tongue and groove floor. That's all fixed down and glued. I've had to leave a bit more of a gap than we like here, but to get the tongues in on the floor, you have to. There's another way of doing it. So, but the laminate will cover that. There's no issues there. As we work back towards the room, we've got some tools in, so you can't really see the floor. We've rushed it because it started absolutely pouring it down outside. So we've got everything back in for now, and that's it. So that is the floor finished. So that is part 7 done, completed, and the next part will be the batten, which will be part 8. So we'll get onto that. Thanks for watching. Again, like I said in the other videos, we've got Instagram, we're on Facebook. Go check us out, give us a follow, that'd be lovely. If you've got any comments, questions about the videos, just drop them in the box below. Always happy to help in answering lots of questions from you guys, so appreciate all the interaction. And yeah, and we'll see you on the next one.